Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. Hope you are all well and safe. This is a painting I did with soft pastels, and I posted it on my Facebook page about a week ago, and Rob Arman asked me if I'd done a video tutorial on it, and I haven't, because this is traditional material. As I say, it's in soft pastels, and at the minute I'm not recording anything I do with traditional media because I'm trying to experiment and stretch myself as an artist, and I really don't want to be stifled really by having to think about producing videos for it. I just want to paint. So at the minute I'm not recording my traditional painting. Anyway, I thought it would be a fun exercise to try and reproduce this as a digital painting in pastels, see if I can get the same effects, and then I can say to Rob, yes, there is a video of sorts that shows you how to reproduce this in soft pastels. This, by the way, here, this is the original photograph that I worked from, so I'm going to use the photograph and the painting as a source for reproducing this digital one. So let's stop talking and just crack on with the painting. So I'm going to do this in Critter because without a doubt the best brushes to use for me are the Atelier digital brushes. So let's just swap that to the pastels, digital pastels. So they're the brushes I'm going to use. I'm also using the Smart Object textured background for pastel paper as well. So I made a video on this already. I'll put a link in the description if you haven't seen this before. I will be using these smart objects, I think, on all of my paintings going forward, because they really make a huge difference, make it so easy to get a nice repeat pattern texture, but there's no sort of discerning repeat of the pattern. It looks really natural, so I like that. So a link for that, and I've done loads of videos on using digital Atelier pastels and paints and things. So all of these are available on the Critter website. The Smart Object papers are free for a download, and the digital Atelier brushes you do need to pay for. So the first thing I need to do is come down to here to adjust the background colour. So all I have to do is press F3, hit this colour icon, and if we look at this picture, this source picture, you can see if, in fact, what I'll do, I'll just close this down a second and zoom in. You can see I've got a pink underpainting on there, so I'm going to go for the pink background for the underpainting on this as well. So I'll start again. I press F3, pop open the colour palette and look for a pinky colour. It was, trust me, it was quite pink. A bit cooler, warmer, I mean. That, I think that's probably definitely wasn't great. It was quite vibrant. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Yeah, something like that. That was my sort of starting point, and then I went in with my pastel brushes, and I used a hard pastel. So I guess in this Pastel 3 Legacy, I think that's going to be an old pastel. Looking at the drawing, it definitely looks like one. And let's come back to the paint. I don't want to start painting on my background, so I come to undercolor. In fact, I should, no, I won't lock it. Come to the undercolor and start painting my first set of colours. And I was using, I think, probably something like this, maybe my initial colour, and I'd been mixing it up pretty quick. I was using big sticks, get these sweeping colours on. Let's see. And I was thinking about this horizon line. So I was sort of roughing in the initial shapes. So I didn't do any drawing, I don't think. I may have done a little bit. Perhaps I did. Perhaps I should. Let's keep it authentic to the initial or the original. I did do sort of like I sketched in a line there. I remember I was thinking I'm going to have this sort of dark down here so that I get this sort of V shape going off. And then I decided, if we look at the photo, these trees, I wanted them sort of coming out the top of the canvas and sort of running off the edge of the canvas there, like that. That was important to me. I thought, I'm totally going to move away from the original photo, use that, yeah, as a concept, but I'm not painting the photo, I'm not copying it. I'm using it as an idea, something that I've got in my head, and basically it's all of this ivy that's growing on this this old tree here. The tree isn't dead or anything, but the ivy had been chopped off at the bottom. I guess the farmer decided that they didn't want the ivy anymore, and they cut it all off, so the ivy was dead, leaving just these gnarled, twisted branches, which look absolutely fantastic on the tree. And then I went in with a green. When I'm doing pastel work, I like to mix it up quite a lot. And I've got to try and make sure that I don't cover up all this pink. And probably put some green down here. And then I got a blue green. I'm doing a lot of painting with pastels at the minute, and if you want to see them all, because obviously they don't normally appear on this channel, if you go to my Instagram, Steve the Scribbler, I've got them all on there that you can see what I'm sort of doing with traditional media as well as the digital stuff. I like to kind of keep a harmony in the painting by using the colours you know, throughout the painting. Even if I don't use a lot of it, I will just sort of put a little brush full of a colour somewhere just to keep that sort of harmony going. Yeah, I'm loving when I was painting a lot in watercolour. I was doing a lot. I wasn't a huge fan of greens. I could never seem to get a nice green. They always came out muddy, and I would invariably use yellow or blue in a vain attempt to avoid using green at all. But pastels is a totally different beast, and I'm loving the effect. Or I'm loving the green colours I can get. Still only using this one pastel, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to putting this lime green in, and I'm kind of doing that a lot. So at the minute now we haven't got a lot of contrast going off, and so it's difficult to tell. I've got the darks dark enough, and So I need to get some lights in really. Just before I do that though, I'm just looking at this purple, just a bit of purple in there. And I have to say, as a digital artist, one of the huge advantages painting digital over traditional, which I am finding out at the minute, as I'd forgotten, because it's been a while, a few years since I sort of put my traditional brushes down and I've just picked them up again, is the cost, the absolute cost of materials is freaky, scary. Painting traditional compared to digital. Digital is so cheap, and you might think, what do you mean cheap? I've just spent over £1,000 on my iPad or new PC, but okay, yeah, you've got that initial outlay, but once you've done it, you pull up. I'm pulling up this grey here, right? Okay, and I'm putting that on, but I'm not using that stick of grey charcoal up. It's it's still in my palette, and it will be in my palette, and I never have to go out and buy another pastel. I may have to replace my iPad in a few years, but I'm finding that and also you've got an unlimited quantity of colours. You haven't got that when you're painting traditional, and I'm finding that I need a lot of colours, and I've spent a lot of money. I've spent much more than what an iPad would cost, perhaps. Just sort of getting me set up with the colours that I want. I'm not moaning because when I do whatever I do, whatever sort of hobby I'm getting into, I will invest money in the kit, and I'm a gadget man, and I like nice things, and I'll sort of pour over the colours and the pastels, and same with watercolours. It's great to have those tools and that, but it is an expensive hobby. I think pastels is more expensive than oil painting, definitely more expensive than watercolour. The papers cost a fortune, and every time you buy a pad, buy 10 sheets, you can soon knock out 10 paintings. Well, I do. I knock out paintings really, really quick. What am I doing with these treats? Look at that, I've got the 3 lollipops. What's that all about? I think I'm going to change the brush up a bit now. What's this one? Let's go to the Pastel 5 blender. What does that do? I think I've kind of got the underpainting in, maybe. I'm wondering if I should go on to another layer. I'm not. The only reason I'm thinking, should I go on to another layer, is because this template has got an undercolour and a paint sketch here layer, and I feel that I should, if I'm using it properly, should work on 2 layers, but I don't know why. But maybe I should just keep working on this one. That's a bit better, isn't it? It's sort of more what I kind of really want to do. And also my paper's too wide, it needs cropping a bit. Let's just crop this in. That's better. Oh, oops. Yeah, I think there. What do I do? Do I press? Man, I'm assuming is there a button or something I'm supposed to press? Can't see anything. Do I just click back onto the paintbrush? Yeah, that's cropped it, hasn't it? I'll tell you what else I'm going to do as well. While now I've cropped it, I'm going to go back to the pin. That means I can just move these closer to that. It's just that by keeping my reference images as close as I can to the canvas, I can just make that canvas a bit bigger, reposition it slightly. Just means I can see a little bit more. There we go. Let's get this nice green in here. Shouldn't really moan about the price of pastels and things because I'm lucky enough in a position that I can buy them. I'm finding a lot in my pastel paintings. I'm using this sort of streak of lime green in the grasses just to make the picture pop, and then go for a cool blue, a cool green, sorry. So a green with plenty of blue in it towards the blue side, a bit darker for the shadows. And I'm finding that combination of that lime green against this cooler green that we've got going off here really makes the thing pop. Oops. Pop a little bit of that green up here as well. I kind of did the ivy last. I need some dark colours. Really dark green, blue. Maybe like that. And I would take a big stick of chalk, a big stick of pastel, and swipe that in. And I kind of put these fence posts in, making sure that they're not the same distance apart and the same height, the same angle and all of that. Oops. Just that should be a bit darker. Trying to keep it looking spontaneous, even though I am copying, I guess. I don't intend to copy this exact. One thing I did find painting traditionally, going back to that, is you forget how colours blend on the canvas. No matter what you're doing, you overlay a colour on top of another colour, and that kind of mixes with whatever you've got on the canvas, and you get a blend. Much more so. I know the apps kind of do that to a certain extent, but not anything like the subtleness that you do get with traditional painting. They're getting there. They're all getting there, but they're not quite there yet. You know what? I'm enjoying doing this as much as I did the original. look into these trees a bit more. Yeah, that's getting there. Here we go. Actually, I'm quite amazed at how easy it is to get something really similar to what we've already got going off on the original painting. Maybe I'm going to make that a bit lighter, you know. Oops. Very quickly using the control key, just keep swapping between colours that you've already got on the canvas. I need something a bit blockier now, and I am going to come on, I think I'm going to come on to this top layer now and look for something that gives me, what's this one? This is the pastel impact grain. Nope, that's not what I want. I want a blender. What's this one? Pastel oily. Probably don't want that. I want sort of a dense, wibbly lines. Not that will be nice when I'm doing the ivy. I'm thinking. What's this one? Basic blend. It's nice. I don't think it's quite what I want. Get some nice sharp edges with that though. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that one. So I'm on the number 5 basic blend now, just for a little while. And I sort of came in here and started just cutting out the shapes of the leaves a little bit, the trees. My finger on the control key. Notice I'm not going for an exact copy, obviously. That's not going to happen, is it? And I don't want it to be honest. A bit light if I can. Go. A bit bigger. Yeah, that's cool. We've got this sort of real windy knoll tree going off there. That's it. Right. Let's think about these. I'm about ready to get into doing the ivy, but I just sort of put a little bit of green just popped in there. And I said I was going to use that wibbly line thing, didn't I? Let's try it. Which one was it? The first one. Wibbly lines. Okay, so what I did, I began by I picked, if I remember rightly, it was sort of a warm grey. Just started sketching these in. And I made them all. I mean, you can see all of those lines on that photograph. But I didn't. I kind of looked at the sort of basic shape of it, and then did my own thing. I thought if I put them in light first, I can then sort of overpaint them and get different colours, different thickness lines, and so on. And I just let them find their own path, really. Some of them I let overlap the sky, so like here it would sort of come out like that, and then I would fill in a bit of the sky like that. Put some dark lines in there. And I didn't want them to sort of come any lower, cream, any lower than sort of here. This sort of line where it sort of meandered. Sort of like that. And came round here. Disappeared off into there. And this is the point where the ivy was chopped off. Where the farmer had cut it back. And then, so it was just a time-consuming business then of painting in all of this ivy. And I also did some sort of negative painting as well. So I got some orange and put some of that in here. Probably go back to let's try some pastel 6 block. That sounds interesting. Yeah, that's cool. That's perfect. number 6 blocking in brush, and I was sort of just blending in colours and things. And just working it. My hands were absolutely ditched, because pastels, if you don't know, are very dusty, and I got sort of different colours in my hands all the time, and I was swapping between the colours as I was doing this, literally like I'm doing now, where I'm sort of picking up one colour and swapping it out for another one. Let's go back to, I wonder if this blocking in brush will be alright for, I think I like the wobbly line, to be honest. The blocking in looks a bit mechanical. That wobbly line's got a really nice organic feel to it. Go. Another thing about doing traditional painting that I'd forgotten about is such a thrill when you put them in a frame. Doesn't matter how long you've been painting. I mean, I've done hundreds of paintings, you know, that I've framed up and been in exhibitions and things, but you've not done it for a while, and then you get them in that frame, they just transform. They look unbelievable. So don't forget, when you're painting digitally, get prints done, get them printed and get them on the wall, because the satisfaction from that is phenomenal really. And I've kind of forgotten about that, because I'm not very precious about my art really. I just kind of I haven't been for a long while. I just do it and then forget about it and move on to the next thing. And I think that was really because of my state of mind for quite a long period. I wasn't in the best of places. So yeah, get your stuff framed, get it printed and get it framed, and you will swell with pride, I promise you. It's absolutely a feeling like none other. And I tell you what else as well, you know, if you've never sold a painting before, the first time you you may have sold a few paintings to friends and relatives and things, and that's cool and that's really nice. But you know what? The first time you ever sell a painting to someone you don't know, that just walks into a gallery, sees your painting on the wall and puts the money on the table and says, "I'd like that one, please." There is nothing like that feeling. It's just like, it's so good. You think I've arrived because somebody that I don't know thinks my work is worth paying money for. So yeah, that's if you haven't sold anything before, that's something for you to look forward to, especially if it's to a complete stranger. So I'm liking this so far. I'm liking what's happening. Not really got any highlights in. I'm just sort of keeping the vines pretty much in the same tonal range. And then I'm going to go in and put some shadows in and a bit more blending, I think. I'm probably getting enough there now, really, to be honest. So what I did then, I went sort of with a darker colour, oops, went underneath, and I was trying to think about how the light, probably not quite as dark as that, maybe like that, yeah. And I just sort of went underneath and I thought, right, okay, where would the light be? I went on the underneath edge, not of all of it, but sort of put shadows in. This hopefully gives these vines a certain amount of depth. And it was just sort of, I'd put a stroke on like that, step back. I did a lot of walking back, stepping back all the time. Go. Literally, you know, nothing too precise. Then I picked out creamy colour. And I did the opposite. I tried to put in some highlights. There we go. I did vary the colour up a little bit. I'll do that here, I suppose. There we go. Like it, like it, like it. And then, where's that blocking in brush? Here we go. I just went in and tried to make it spark a bit by just putting in really little highlights of sparkly colour, almost bright colours. I think it requires a bit more blending actually. Just, what point do you stop? You know, you can keep doing this forever. What's this brush? Pastel Impact. Oh, I think that's not maybe all right if I try it. Not quite such contrasty colours. Try and use it a little bit colours that are much closer. Almost picking up the colour that I've already got and just brushing that in to get a bit of a texture thing going off, maybe. Yeah, this use small as well. That's quite nice. Tend to like to use a bit of pink. Getting the right colours. It is quite vibrant, the colours that I use. Probably just want blending in a bit. Stump. Yeah, that works well. I'll start to just blend them a bit. So which brush was it I was using? Wibbly Lines No. Pastel 8 Impact. That's it. So I kind of know where I'm going with this now. Just like to sort of hit the foreground with these really high chroma colours. Maybe just blend them out a little bit so that they're not quite so in your face. That's it. And I'm using purples. Great. Yeah, like that. Lighter, maybe. Get the blending stump out. There we go. Could blend some of this as well, I think. Oh, that's on a different layer, isn't it? Nice. Liking it. Now that's amazing. I picked that colour up there, which I thought was going to be here. It looks quite light, and over here it's just so dark. It's the effect that the all the colours around it are having on it. That's nice. I like that. So, yeah, I could keep working on this for ages. And I'm going to do it a little bit longer. Hope I'm not going to bore you. I don't want to... I'm definitely not going to edit this down and speed bits up. I'm going to let you see every brush stroke. So, where are we at now? It is getting quite long, so, to be honest, so I should be winding it up. Yeah. Like it. Right, I'm going to sign this. Got a colour. Try and use a similar colour. There we go. So there we are. That's it. That's reproducing my traditional soft pastel painting as a digital piece. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I've had a lot of fun making it, as always. If you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. That's much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Lots of videos like this, and I'd love to be sharing them with you. So don't forget, everybody, stay safe, stay sane, and keep painting. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.